Today on CityCast Portland, we're talking about how a tree cost the city over $700,000, a new local alternative to Nextdoor, and finally, we're going to figure out what all those big booms people are constantly posting about online are all about. We're going to solve it today. I'm your host, Claudia Meza, and with me are Bryan M. Vance, the founder of Stumptown Savings, your friendly food economy newsletter, and Hays Witt, community steward of Roundabout Southeast PDX. Welcome to the show, you guys. How's it going?
Hey.
Really glad to be here.
I usually kick things off with an opening question, and today it's all about one of the most prevalent Nextdoor and Portland Reddit posts we all see. I thought this would be fitting, Hays, since you are trying to create a new online community, and I'm pretty sure this is what half of the post will be about, which is Portlanders asking if anyone has heard a loud boom. We've actually gotten emails from listeners asking us to investigate these loud booms they're hearing in their neighborhoods. I've personally have never heard a loud boom in St. John's, like an unexplained one, you know? Most seem to be centered around Southeast Portland, but if you had to make your best educated guess, what do you think is causing these loud booms people cannot stop posting about?
Oh, it's aliens.
Aliens.
It's the Greys.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the Greys. It's like, who knows what they're doing? Greys are mischievous, but it's probably them like tipping over trash cans really loudly or backing their UFO into someone's illegally parked RV or whatever, and you're just hearing these loud bangs. It's 100% Greys.
I've never heard of Greys. Is that like an alien term?
It's the gray type of aliens. There's grays, there's like greens.
I'm learning so much.
Yeah.
Hayes, did you know about this?
I'm not super up to speed on grays, but I am also a little bit of a pop culture black hole sometimes.
Okay.
Speaking of outer space. My theory is it's Sasquatch footsteps.
That could be it too. Yeah, Bigfoot.
Mm-hmm. They're just kind of like hopping around.
Just in Southeast Portland.
Well, obviously.
I mean, most animals have a home turf, right?
That's where Bigfoot would live.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Mine is super boring. I actually think that it just might be train cars colliding against each other.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. That's probably what it is. It's, and you can hear them far away.
Yeah, and they do echo, especially in a train yard. Train yards, for some reason, they just decided when they created them, hey, let's make this an echo chamber.
Yeah, let's put it down in a valley.
Let's do it in a valley. Let's make it real loud. That's what I'm assuming, but I also think that people are smart enough to know, like when they hear, you would think like, oh, that's definitely two trains.
Yeah, but I think if you're far enough away, you might not be able to identify it. Like if you've ever stayed overnight in like the Overlook neighborhood, you know when the trains are being butted up against one another. It's loud as hell. You understand it. But if you're like 2 or 3 neighborhoods over and it's quiet and that sound carried, it would probably change enough that you can't identify it. Also, maybe the Greys are doing something to change the sound. It's the Greys.
On a serious note, I've thought it's dumpsters maybe being emptied and then slammed down by Sasquatch. But I also think this is like a really interesting example of people trying to crowdsource information about their community. There is a phenomena that we cannot explain, and there is something going on and people are trying to put their heads together. And it's a pretty cool case study of that. But it's also interesting that it hasn't been run down.
Right? Well, thank you both for your answers. I want to hear from our listeners. What do you think these loud booms are? Is it the Greys? Is it Sasquatch emptying dumpsters? Is it trains colliding against each other? What do you think it is? Hit me up at portland@citycast.fm. I want to hear it. Let's take a quick break here, and when we come back, one local family's ongoing tree saga with the city is finally coming to an end. Bryan, we've actually been following the story since Willamette Week reporter Sophie Peel first reported it last year. Do you want to catch up everyone, though, who has not been following the story?
Yeah, so let's go back to January 2024. Remember that massive winter storm we had that just knocked trees down all over the city? You know, I live across the street from a park, like 3 big trees went down. Well, in Hillsdale, a 150-foot Douglas fir came down on a family's house. And that's when we realized that there was a bigger story here. So this actually comes courtesy of Willamette Week's Garrett Andrews. That family sued the city because they said that they had basically been pleading with the Urban Forestry Department to get a permit to chop down that tree for 2 years. and the urban forestry department declined it. They came out, they looked at it for about 5 minutes, according to the family, and decided that it wasn't dangerous, it wasn't at risk of falling over, permit denied. Well, fast forward, and that big storm happens, and it comes down into the second story of the house, missing their 6-year-old daughter by mere feet, according to the family, causing a ridiculous amount of damage. So the family sued, and a Multnomah County jury found the city liable for $717,000 in damages to the family's home. The thing here about this, Sophie dug into this, a bunch of other reporters dug into this too. It turns out that Portland's tree code had incredibly strict enforcement. It was damn near impossible to get a permit to chop down a tree. Since then, it came out that there were multiple instances like this where they had denied permits to cut down trees, and then the trees later fell and caused some sort of damage. City Council last summer actually stripped urban forestry of their ability to regulate the tree code, and then now we have this. So, the family, they had this really interesting quote about how the urban forestry department has refused to accept responsibility for this, but that a jury found them liable and is holding them accountable for damages. I did find it interesting. The judge in the case apparently blocked the family's seeking of emotional distress damages because according to them, basically since January 2024, they've had to move 5 or 6 times. Yeah. They're still living out of boxes, all while they're trying to get their house repaired, dealing with insurance and all that. The judge blocked that. So they're appealing that. They're seeking, up to several $1 million in additional damages for a tree that could have been chopped down and would have prevented all of this.
Yeah. One of the things that I remember that was part of that story that I was like, well, this is irrefutable, is that whoever went in to basically remove the tree, they're just like, oh, yeah. Look at all this rot. This
it was
is rotted.
80% rotten. 80%.
Just what is it with our tree marshals? That's what I'm calling them now. If they can't tell when a tree is 80% rotted.
Yeah.
Shouldn't that be part of I don't know.
Evaluating it?
What you should know if you're a tree marshal for the city is if trees are in good or bad condition. But yeah, I just remember when this happened, this was before our new form of government, but it was almost immediate. I remember I think it was at that point, Chairman, that's not this.
Chairman Mao. No.
Chairman Mao. I think it was then Commissioner Dan Ryan. He just sort of shut everything down. He was like, okay, guys, stop. Because it wasn't just them. During that storm, people were getting fined daily.
Oh, yeah. For trees that went down.
Do you guys remember this?
Yeah.
People were trying to figure out, what do I do with these fallen trees? And then on top of that, here comes tree marshal being like, well, you didn't get a permit for that tree to fall. So now you're going to get charged daily. And I think Sophie reported on this and all that shut down because it was ridiculous. It was absolutely ridiculous.
Complete bureaucratic madness. But it really stemmed from this super strict tree code we have. And the tree code comes from a good place. It's to protect our urban canopy. I find this really funny. We live in the Northwest, right? It's super green. Everyone talks about how green it is. We're not even close to being the most forested city in America as far as tree cover comes. It's Atlanta, Georgia, which is double-digit points. I think we're 30-something%. Atlanta's over 50, I believe. We do not have nearly as much tree canopy as everyone thinks, especially on the east side. And the further east you go, the less we get. So it comes from a good place, but they were enforcing it with an iron fist. And there was no leeway, no nuance, no exceptions whatsoever. And so if a tree fell from natural causes, you got fined because it came down. You also got fined for not replacing it with another tree. It was just piling up. Thankfully, the city had a sort of come to Jesus moment and realize that this was a little bit out of control. But there's still issues. We still live in this place where we love our big trees, but a lot of these big trees are really dangerous. Just last weekend when we had those thunderstorms, a house just around the corner from me, they have a big, I don't think it's a Douglas fir, but it's some sort of big pine tree that's probably 150 feet. Huge branches of it came down and crushed their porch. And it's that's a risk you run when you have these massive structures, these massive living beings growing 30 feet in front of your house. It's going to come down at some point, and it might come down on your house.
And they're all over the place.
Yeah,
so
they're everywhere.
Like you say, so it's interesting. The whole tree code thing is really interesting. I mean, 2 things come to mind. Bryan, you talked about kind of how a canopy fades on the east side, and I've been thinking about kind of the climate justice implications of that. And there's been some really interesting studies, I think from PSU over the last couple years, about how when we have these heat waves, like the east side gets it way worse. And a big piece of that is tree canopy. So it's like this interesting thing of like, how do you deal with all these individual situations? Like each tree is its own kind of special situation.
Yeah.
It seems like an ongoing dilemma.
Oh, yeah. I definitely don't think we've solved it. And we're not the only community dealing with this. I mean, like tree canopy, as you said, like it's becoming increasingly clear as our climate gets hotter, the vital role that tree canopy plays in cooling the local environment, in combating the urban heat island effect and all that stuff. But, you know, we also aren't building enough housing. We also aren't taking care of infrastructure properly. So it's like this ongoing tug of war happening all over the country about how do you balance the greater good as far as tree canopy goes with also balancing, you know, people's safety.
I'm curious what you guys think on this whole blocking the emotional distress. Do you think that they should be able to sue for that?
I think especially because of what came out during all this. So the chief forester for the urban forestry department initially told city council that like she wasn't aware of any specific instances of trees falling after the urban forestry department declined a permit. But then it later came out that she was lying. Like she did know. Wow. She had to issue an apology. So I think with that kind of stuff in mind, like, yeah, I do actually think they should have a right to sue for emotional damages. This was entirely preventable. Not only was it entirely preventable, but then the department tried to like cover it up and pretend that they didn't do anything wrong here when they did. So yeah, I think it was a bad call on the judge's part. And we'll see if their appeal works.
Yeah. Well, thanks for catching us up. This is another example of heavy-handed code from the city where there's little to no nuance and just nothing but bureaucracy. And now we've kind of done that thing we do is when we go to the extreme of like, well, then let's do nothing.
Right.
Like,
then let's just not.
We should have something, but maybe not that. And maybe focus on the southeast side where there's no trees. Whatever.
It's just blacktop everywhere.
It's just whatever. I just love the city, though. They tend to do that. Like, you know what? Never mind.
It's the road to hell is paved with good intentions, and then a lot of times it feels like that in Portland. Like well-intentioned, but not thought out well.
New city motto instead of the city that works.
Yeah, because we ain't working right now.
The city with great intentions.
Yes, I think that's right. I think that is.
Well, let's take a quick break here. And when we come back, Hays is going to pitch us a local and possibly less annoying version of Nextdoor and Facebook groups. Skeptical. All right, Hays, lay it on us. What is Roundabout Southeast Portland, and will it help solve what these loud booms are and where they're coming from?
Okay, first of all, job one is figure it out on the loud booms. So I have literally written that down.
Okay.
And next time I'm back with you guys, I'll have answers.
Great.
Secondly, Roundabout Southeast Portland, it's a new way for people who live in Southeast, work in Southeast, have fun and hang out in Southeast to build community and connection with each other. It's an online space where people share news, they post events, they make asks, they make offers, and they, what we're really seeing is that they reach out to each other and say, hey, I want to make some friends, or I want to meet up for a study group. And one of the things that really sets it apart from a lot of other online spaces is that it is stewarded, is what we call it, by a real live person who actually lives in the community. So we don't have an algorithm. We have people who are taking care of the space. We're inviting folks in. We're kind of setting a tone. We're engaging with folks and helping things kind of stay productive and constructive. And we have a point of view that that's what this space is for. And in the case of Roundabout Southeast Portland, I am that steward, along with a friend of mine.
How long has it been around?
So we have been live for 2 weeks.
So it's new. It's new. Okay.
Yeah, it's new.
How many people are on so far?
We've already had 1,600 people come onto the site. And
wow, that's crazy.
Like the response has just kind of been bananas.
Clearly something that's been needed. Bryan, you're from Southeast. Does Montevilla?
I'm in there. I'm in Roundabout. Yeah.
Well, tell us about it.
I've been posting. I've been seeing. It is really cool. I mean, it's smaller, so it's still sort of finding its feel. But I will say, like, New Public, the company that runs Roundabout, is onto something here with having like paid moderators, basically, to steward these spaces. So many online spaces have zero moderation. And if they do have moderation, it's an anonymous, I'm talking about you, Reddit, specifically our Portland. It's an anonymous group of people. You don't know who they are. You don't necessarily understand what their rules are. It just causes a lot of drama. I think it's very interesting that y'all up front are very clear about the guidelines and sort of have like a rules of the road for Roundabout. Like, it's the first thing you see when you sign on every single time, actually. It's not just like a one-time thing. And that you have like people who live here in the community setting the tone, kind of guiding things. And it doesn't, like you said, there's no algorithm. There's no sense of like censorship. I mean, obviously, if you violate the community norms, like, yes, you'll get removed, but it's not like Hays is on there being like, I don't personally like Bryan, so I'm just going to like hide his post, bury his post. Like, it's not how it works. So far, it is exactly the way Hays described it. It's people going on there, introducing themselves, sharing problems they have, or talking about a cool event that's coming. I just saw Beer Bunker, this really cool bottle shop in Montevilla, is having an anniversary party. I even look for events all the time, and I hadn't seen this one. So it is just like a really cool community space that is run by people, not robots.
Bryan got a hero's welcome when he came on to Roundabout for the first time. And I think that's really telling about what kind of space we're creating. It's a space where you probably do know somebody else who's on it. And when they come on, you recognize them, you say hello. And it's also a space where you meet new people. And so we've had somebody come on just a couple days ago who said, hey, I'm stuck at home. I have a big academic project I'm working on this summer, and I got to get out of the house. I'm going crazy. Does anybody want to do a study group? You got 6 or 7 responses. Tomorrow, they're all meeting up at a cafe.
Heck yeah.
What they're getting is a bunch of replies from neighbors, other people who live in Southeast that are useful, like actually giving people information they were looking for. One person said, hey, I'm looking for a temp agency that is not going to screw me. And she got some good answers. Some of the stuff is more pedestrian. Another person is trying to figure out where to get their garden tools sharpened.
So I'm hearing that Roundabout is only for Southeast.
Sorry, St. John's.
No, I mean, I'm just curious. Is it going to go like full Portland Metro at one point? And did you start it? Are you like one of the founders of it? Or like, how did this come about?
Yeah, I'll speak to both points. So one of the things that makes Roundabout special is that it is for a geographically bounded area. We think that if it gets too big, you lose that kind of familiarity and the relevance of local information that we're really trying to speak to, like things you need to know about the place you live or work or hang out in that kind of immediate radius, and have that kind of connection with people that breeds the kind of positive community that we're talking about. I hear that.
Why can't you have different chapters, though?
You are one step ahead of me.
Yeah.
So we actually are keeping a list of folks who want to bring Roundabout to other parts of Portland. And I do work at New Public, which is a nonprofit that is kind of like sponsoring this. And we have a much longer list of people all around the country who want roundabouts where they are. I think there's something in the air right now where people are really frustrated with current ways of getting that local information. It's like, it's hard to find what you're looking for. People are tired of the doom scrolling, tired of the negativity, and there's just a lot of appetite for this.
You know what I was thinking? I don't know if you can apply this to your platform, but I feel like on Instagram or TikTok, the way it should work is if your comments get flagged for being hateful or whatever more than 3 times, that you no longer are able to comment. Like, you could be on the platform.
I like that. 3-strike rule.
You could be on the platform, but you're not allowed. You can't handle yourself as an adult. Maybe go to therapy.
Yeah. On Roundabout, if a comment gets flagged, we look at it. And part of our job is to evaluate, is this somebody in bad faith? Or is this somebody who like was triggered in the moment and now wishes they could take it back? Right. And in that case, like, we actually engage in dialogue with people. We want people to participate as much as they can, as long as it's within bounds. We're trying to keep people in the community. One thing I'll say, and it's like early days, but so far we have had 0 moderation incidents. And my belief about that is that the community itself is setting a tone. Like if you come into Roundabout, the vibe is just really good. And so when you come in there, I think people pick up on that and they think, great, this is what I was looking for. Was a place, if I wanted a bad vibe or internet sniping, I know where to go.
Right. There's already plenty of places for that.
This is the kind of thing I was looking for. And like, now I'm invested in actually maintaining that and helping build it.
That's awesome. Well, if Bryan says it's cool, I'm just going to believe it is.
That's cool. Yeah.
Hopefully it spreads to other neighborhoods. Our podcast, it's listened to broadly. Even like people on the coast are listening. And I'm sure they're going to be like, well, I want that. Is there like a way that they can get a hold of you or sort of put their neighborhood on the wait list or anything like that?
Yeah, they should just send me an email. It's hays@joinroundabout.com.
Sweet. We'll also link to the site that is up and available for people in the Southeast in our show notes, so you can check it out there. Did you want to say something before we wrap up?
I was just gonna say, I really read every email and I respond to every email. So I'm interested. Folks who want to join, come join. If you just have thoughts and ideas about this and or questions, send them my way too.
Awesome. Well, we're gonna check in with Bryan in a couple months about what the vibes like.
What the vibes are, vibe check.
I gotta be honest, Hays, I'm very skeptical about keeping the vibes up.
Yeah.
Also being, in a public platform, getting emails, I don't know how you're gonna moderate that, but like, good luck to you. I send you strength.
Thanks. I might call you.
I don't want that. I don't want that at all. Well, you guys, I appreciate you both hanging out with me. And it's really cool, Hays. Like, you're the first person that's like, hey, can I come talk about this? And we're like, sure. Because normally we're like, no.
Oh, awesome. Well, I hope I'm blazing a trail and not making you regret it.
Well, it was also just, we knew that people would be into this. Like, we're like, oh my gosh. Because I think I was on Nextdoor for a while. And then like after a few months, I was like, oh, screw this. It's low key kind of racist and like weird. And it didn't feel like my thing. But yeah, I'm glad to hear that there's alternatives. Well, you guys, appreciate you both. Thanks for hanging out with me. Have a good rest of your day.
Absolutely. You too, Claudia.
Thank you all.
That's all for today here on CityCast Portland. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed the show, share it with a friend, rate it, leave us an awesome review. It really does help people find us. And don't forget, you can support the show and get great perks by becoming a CityCast Portland neighbor. Just visit membership.citycast.fm. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more from around the city. Until then, see you at Slim's.
Or the North Portland Sunday Parkways.
Oh,
I'll be
hell
there
yeah.
in St. John's representing Stumptown Savings. And also, you get to ride through St. John's without cars.
Love it.